Okay, so this is lesson 1.6, which is combining like terms to simplify expressions. So what do I mean by combine like terms? Let's go ahead and break it down. To combine means to put something together. So if I combine the number of boys and girls, I would come up with like a total of how many there are. Like means like the same. So if two things are alike or like, then they are the same. And terms are numbers that are separated by a positive or negative sign. So up here, for example, each of these that I have highlighted is a term. 3 triangle is one term, 5 is one term, -6 smiley face is a term, triangle is a term, -7 is a term, because all of them are separated by plus and minus signs. So an example of like terms would be something like 3x, 7x, and 4x, because these are all they all have the same symbol. They're all alike. Another one might be like 4 exclamation point. If anything else has an exclamation point next to it, it's also going to be a like term. So like 6 exclamation point and -2 exclamation point. These are all like terms because they share the same symbol. Or 3x squared. If it's a like term, then it will also have an x squared. So like 10x squared. Those are like terms because they both have x squared. And -4x squared. These are all like terms because they have the same symbol. Unlike terms will have different symbols. So like 3x, 2y, and 6. This one has an x, this one has a y, and 6 is floating by itself, so it is its own term. How about 4 smiley face, 3 exclamation point, and 2y. These are all unlike terms because they have different symbols. So let's do some examples of this in context. 6x plus 12 minus 6 plus 3x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the terms that have the same symbol. I'm also going to take the sign with it. So this is positive 6x and a negative 3x. So how many total x's do I have? Well, 6 minus 3 is 3. And those were the x's that I was counting. Okay, I have a positive 12 and a -6. Are those like terms? Yes. So 12 minus 6 is 6. Okay, number 2. I have an x squared symbol. So anything else that has an x squared, I'm also going to highlight yellow. Then I have a constant, which is a number without a symbol. I'm going to highlight any other constants the same color. So, how many total x squareds do I have? I have 3, 4, 5x squared. How many constants do I have? 4 minus 5, which is a -1. Last one with me. I see I have an 8x. So I'm going to highlight anything else that has an x symbol, just an x symbol, -2. Then I see this has a 6xy. So because this symbol looks different than this one, it's its own term. So I have 8 minus 2, which is 6x. And then 6 plus 3 is 9, and I was counting xy. So before you move on to do anything on your own, we're actually going to talk about the difference between an equation and an expression. So an expression is one or more terms that have a mathematical operation between them. So an expression is something like 2x plus 6y minus 1. This is an expression because it's one or more terms. Here's one term, here's a second term, here's a third term, that have a mathematical operation between them, the operation being pluses and minus. Versus an equation contains an equal sign that separates two expressions. So for example, 2x plus 6 is equal to negative 7x plus 3. This is an equation because it has an equal sign. This is expression. This is an expression. This is another expression. And they're separated by an equal sign. So why do I care about that? Well, let's go ahead and simplify this together like we did on the other side, other page. I'm going to highlight the like terms. So negative 9x minus 5x, those are like terms. And 2 and 1, they're both constants. Negative 9x minus 5x is a negative 14x. 2 plus 1 is 3. This was an expression. On number 2, we need to simplify each of the expressions. This equal sign in an equation is going to separate two expressions. It's like a wall. Okay, you can't cross over the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the left and I'm going to simplify the right, and I'm just going to leave it. So on the left, I have two constants, and then I have a negative 9x. So I'm just going to write the negative 9x, and 2 plus 1 is 3. I'm going to leave it like that. On the other side of the wall, I have a 5x and a 10x. So negative 5x plus 10x is 5x, and then the plus 3 just floats. Because there's an equal sign in between these that's separating the two expressions, I'm going to stop here. Stop here. In an equation, we'll simplify each side, and we're not actually going to go on from there.